Demand more. Get Allmax.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. It's been a few weeks since you saw me. I was off in LA training for the Olympia. We are actually today 8 days after the Olympia, Monday morning. I'm back in here, back in the grind. I was actually anticipating doing the Arnold Classic this weekend. I didn't actually get the invite to that, so I'm done for the year. Still been training hard. I just added some extra calories in on Friday once I realized I wasn't going to be competing again. Hit legs yesterday, hard, so I'm kind of tired today. My body aches. I did some heavy squats, not heavy squats, but squats, lots of squats. I went a little bit further than I knew my body was able to handle, but that's kind of the point. So today I'm doing chest and a little bit of back. Nothing crazy heavy. The way that I approach my post-Olympia recovery phase, although this is a bit of a rebound as well, I get into a phase that I call relearning movements. So when I'm training for Olympia, you're running on fumes, you're giving it your all, and a lot of the times your form kind of goes out the window because you're just about getting as much as you possibly can out of the muscles. So I try to keep my form tight, but sometimes it's just a matter of when you're getting ready for a show, you're biting down and you're going. So for the next 3 or 4 weeks, I get into this phase where I'm reteaching motor patterns. So the volume kind of drops back a bit, the intensity drops down a little bit, the weights drop down, and I'm teaching my body how to move. So that 4 weeks from now, when it's time to start ramping up and getting strong again, start eating a little bit more, my joints are healed. The body already knows how to move. You don't have to think about these movements, you don't have to think about these exercises. It's all ingrained in your brain and motor, what's called a motor engram. Something I teach in my MI40 program. So you need about 4 to 6 weeks for most people, at least, to unlearn the bad habits and relearn these proper motor engrams. So you'll see I do a lot of really full range of motion, a lot of pausing, a lot of contraction-based stuff. I'm going to try to give you some intensity today because I truthfully feel pretty good other than the fact that I feel beat up from my leg workout. And nobody wants to watch a boring, lazy workout. So I'm going to give you a bit of a combo, but that's the idea behind what I'm doing. We're going to start off with incline dumbbells, and I'll give you some more as we go. Okay guys, so what you see that I just did there was on the heavier sets, your body's always going to have a tendency to make things easier for itself. So your body's going to try to bring things closer to the midline and make the muscle as long as possible so it stays in the middle of the range. So what we're trying to do as bodybuilders is train our body to move how we want it to move. So when I'm contracting a muscle, or when I'm going through a movement, I'm trying to get a muscle as short as possible. So on incline bench press, for example, I'm trying to bring the my humerus, so my upper arm, across my pec, and shorten that pec. Now the body's naturally gonna do this. Just trying to lengthen it, keep it in the mid-range where it's strongest. So I'm gonna naturally depress and think about bringing my humerus across my body. There's no thought about the dumbbell. I'm not trying to hit the dumbbells together. I'm not trying to push them up. All I'm trying to do from this position is drop my shoulders, bring my elbows as close as I possibly can together. And if you notice, now that I'm pumped, that's literally as far as I can go together. So any further than that is gonna be a movement below the elbow, which is absolutely useless when it comes to the pec. That's tip number one. Tip number two, at the bottom of the range, you'll notice on that last set, I was trying to keep my hands, through the entire range actually, I'm trying to keep my hands slightly outside of my elbows. Why do I do that? Again, your body's gonna naturally try to make it easier, so it's gonna bring it close. But anytime you dump your hand inside your elbow, you're gonna recruit more tricep. Triceps are strong, it's gonna give you the illusion of using more weight. If you want to be a power lifter, you come in close and use more tricep. If you want to be a bodybuilder, you isolate the pec by always keeping the hand slightly outside of the elbow, which is always forcing that dumbbell to continually pull us this way and keep tension on the pec. So if you see what I did there at the bottom of the range, I actually consciously take it a little bit wider and then I try to squeeze through with the pec. Hard to do with heavy weights, but certainly something you want to practice all the time. Learn those motor engrams, learn those movement patterns now. Now's not a time for me to grow. My body's just recovering from the last 3 months of, well, I mean, I may get a rebound, but my body's recovering from the last 3 months of basically hell on no calories. So the growth will be minimal. I just want to try to keep myself safe, keep my joints healthy, and teach my body how to move so that a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, I'm able to go balls out, which is where I should be. We're gonna move on to flat dumbbells. We're gonna keep it a little bit lighter and really focus on that form. right, so here we go. Finish the chest. We're gonna wrap up the workout. Give you guys a bit of an insight into what was going on in my brain during this workout. I kind of jumped all over the place. You'll notice my range was different. I did a lot of weird exercises where I was kind of using different parts of the range. So the only thing I was trying to accomplish with this workout was to activate the muscle through its entire contractile range. So the pec, for any of you who've watched my videos before, know the pec starts way up here in an externally rotated position, internally rotates, brings the humerus across the body and contracts the pec. So I was trying to make sure that I was using resistance through that entire contractile range. So we did this exercise here with the low cables where I was externally rotated, coming to internally rotated, and trying to keep my elbows relatively straight and locked out. Yes, I do lock out. I actually try to squeeze my triceps. As long as it's not smashing, like I'm doing it fast, there's no danger to the joints. So for me, it's external, gradually squeeze my triceps, internally rotate and contract. I did a good balanced combination of heavy versus light. You saw me do the Smith machine push press from the floor, which doesn't allow me to get a stretch, but only allows me to do a lockout. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to get my pecs to grow out. So kind of similar in the way of, with a bicep curl, if I'm trying to get a better peak, I want to make sure I'm getting a really good peak contraction. Same idea with the pecs is you want to make sure if I want my pecs to grow out, I want to make sure I'm getting a good contraction at the top so they get strong in a shortened position. It doesn't mean that this works my pec in a position that makes it grow this way. It just means that I'm trying to get strong. This is a really short pec. I'm trying to get strong here, so I want to spend more time in this position with a loaded muscle. That's one of my goals for this off season. That's it for that workout. I have to give you guys a little insight as to what I'm doing right now, where my diet and such is. I'm keeping my carbs actually pretty low because I'm coming off of training 3 times a day, up to even 2 cardios a day. If I were to go, you drop, basically my training intensity is, training intensity is still pretty good, but my training frequency is much less. So if I were to train much less and continue to eat as much as I was before, or more, increase my carbs, I'm gonna get fat. So I'm keeping my carbs low for now, and then I'll gradually increase it, so it gives my metabolism some time to adjust, and hopefully not put on any body fat this off season, stay a lot leaner. My body feels amazing. Keeping the carbs down helps to keep the inflammation down in your joints. Basically, my only carb intake right now is I'm getting in about 2 cups of oats, maybe 3 cups of oats a day total, and twice a week. So usually Thursdays and Sundays, I'll do some cheats with my family. We'll go for breakfast, we'll go for dinner. But the rest of the week is very clean. So my special treat right now during the week is a big bowl of oatmeal with 2 scoops of Isoflex peanut butter chocolate, which is, for those of you that know, is my favorite. Other than that, lots of branched chain amino acids to make sure I'm staying anabolic and recovering. Branched chains can also be and whey protein can be very insulinogenic. So post-workout, I'm not taking any carbs, I'm not taking any liquid carbs, but I am taking a lot of amino core and I am taking a lot of Isoflex. So it's been shown that those are almost as insulinogenic as post-workout carbs. They're almost as beneficial in stimulating protein synthesis post-workout as carbs. So as long as you're taking enough, you're good. Other than that, lots of good high-quality meat, lots of beef, lots of egg whites. I try to change my protein sources from what I was eating pre-contest. So pre-contest I was using a lot of turkey and fish. Now I'm eating a lot of chicken and beef. Just for the simple fact that your body will develop intolerances if you keep eating the same thing over and over again. So all those bodybuilders out there living on egg whites and tuna, switch it up. It's a good idea. I'm using some quinoa flakes, which I was using pre-contest, but they just seem to work really well for me. Lots of fruit. That's that. Huge thank you to Team Allmax. It was an amazing experience at the Olympia. I spent some time at the booth, but they were so accommodating and so understanding. We're heading off to Spain, so anybody who's seen these videos who's in Europe, come by the Arnold Classic Spain and come by the Allmax booth and say what's up to myself, get an autograph. I got t-shirts, I got 8x10s you guys can have. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, checking me out. allmaxnutrition.com, benpakulski.com, and also a huge thank you to everyone who picked up MI40. I did a promo the week after the Olympia, which actually ended yesterday, for my product, my muscle building program, MI40. And we got over 2,000 customers, new customers, which is amazing in a week. So thank you guys so much. You're gonna love it. I know you're gonna love it. There's no doubt. Everyone who's bought it has loved it, learned a ton, put it on a ton of weight, and hope you guys are looking forward to many things coming in the next 6 months from Ben Pakulski and Allmax Nutrition. Peace out.